everybody, welcome to the show. Hello everyone, welcome back to Raising A to Z. This is a channel all about homeschooling, except for today where I'm going to do something a little bit different. My name is Amanda. I am a teacher-turned-homeschool mom. And if you know me in person, you know I am the queen of grocery shopping. I am the absolute queen of grocery shopping. I, first off, enjoy grocery shopping. I love it. And I love a good deal when it comes to grocery shopping and saving money and sticking on a budget. It is like a high for me. I actually really enjoy it. So I thought, since a lot of people are struggling financially with like their grocery budgets and trying to make life a little bit more affordable, I thought I would do this video on how I save money on groceries, because the money I save on groceries I get to put towards homeschooling my kids and affording things for them. And so I thought I would do this video and just, you know, try it out and see how it works. If you guys like videos like this and some like lifestyle videos, please let me know in the comments below and maybe I'll do some more. I'm also going to be doing next week a video all about on how to save money while homeschooling. So they kind of go hand in hand, saving money with groceries, saving money with homeschooling. So I figured I would do this video on my top tips for saving money while grocery shopping. Maybe it'll help you out. But before that, if you like this video, make sure you go down and subscribe and click the bell to get notifications when I put out more videos. If you've been following us for any amount of time, you know that our oldest daughter, Alexie, has a lot of food allergies. I have a whole playlist on her like eczema story and her food sensitivity story. Basically, she had eczema. We found out it was food sensitivities and she had a lot of them. She had 67 food sensitivities. And as she has gotten older, she's actually started to outgrow them, which we were told she would. But it has been very exciting for us because previous to her outgrowing some food allergies, she was on a very limited diet. And her alternatives, like she couldn't have dairy or any grains, any nuts, any starches, so no potatoes, no legumes, no corn, like she had a huge list. And over the past 9 months, we've actually been able to introduce quite a few things back into her diet and test them out, and it's actually been going really well. And so it's been great because actually our budget is the lowest it's been in a very long time. Because I can actually go to the store and buy a box of Triscuits for $2, which everyone in my family can eat, rather than spending like $8 or $9 on a bag of like these specialty grain-free cassava tortilla chips that only Alexie could eat. And they were costing, like I said, like $8 or $9 because she couldn't have anything else. Like she couldn't have crackers, she couldn't have chips, she couldn't have nachos, like it was insane. So actually, since Alexie has been able to eat more and more things, because we've been able to reintroduce things like dairy, wheat, rice, oats, potatoes, corn, we're testing almonds right now. We've actually been able to reintroduce things and bring our costs of living down for us, because I was spending almost $200 a month just on food that only Alexie was going to eat, because it was just too expensive for us to feed our whole family like Alexie ate. That would have been a ridiculous amount of money, but we were able to do it. We were able to make it work. And part of it is because I have some very specific things that I like to do that really help bring down our costs of grocery shopping. In fact, I have been stopped numerous times in the grocery store by people who have asked me how I did that, how I saved so much money. And I actually had an old man stop me and tell me that I should teach other people how to do this. So that's what I'm gonna do. I have 11 tips for you today. Number one, meal plan. I think a lot of people don't meal plan enough. It's like essential. You need to know what you're gonna make. You need to know ahead of time. You need to know what ingredients you need. And you need to know what food you need to have in your house. Like, it's imperative. There is nothing worse than like, oh, thinking you have like the rice to make this like stir fry dish, or the pasta for spaghetti, and then not having it and having to run to the grocery store. The reason why that's bad is because chances are you're going to see other things at the grocery store and you're going to buy more than you need. And you've now spent money on gas to go to the grocery store. You've added stress going to the grocery store. You've taken time out of your day to go to the grocery store, when really you don't need to do that. You need a great meal plan. So once a week I sit down, I look at what the week ahead is going to be like. So I look at like, what days are we going to be at playgroup and have gymnastics all on that day. So I know I need a crock pot meal that day. I know we do pizzas on Fridays. I'm looking at my week and seeing what kind of meals I need to fill in. And I'm also gonna look at my week and check my freezer, and I'm gonna check my flyers and see what's on sale. This is huge. So basically, if it's not in my freezer, which means I purchased it on sale, or it's not on sale, then I'm not gonna buy it. And that's going to really help in terms of like the main parts of our meals. So like, especially like meats, I only buy meats that are on sale. Because that is a huge cost. And so having a great meal plan and going through and making sure you have all the ingredients for all the meals you plan on making in that week are essential. It makes your life so much easier, and it also gives you a good structure for what you need for your grocery list, because you're making your grocery list based off your meal plan. When I'm making my meal plan, I'm also looking at what I have in my cupboards. So for example, some things are interchangeable. So like if I have quinoa and I have no other side dishes, chances are we're gonna have some quinoa during the week instead of buying something new. I think a lot of people forget to shop their cupboards and see what they have that they can use as like either a foundation of a meal or as a side dish. Every week I do check what we have, what we need, and what's in our pantry and our freezer already, and what can I use out of that before I bring in something new. Another thing that I do, my second thing that I do, is I limit my options. This is something that I find works really well with kids. I do not have multiple options for breakfast. So my kids don't get a different breakfast every day. They don't get to come in and say, oh, I want muffins, or I want eggs and bacon, or I want this. Like, it is, here are your choices. You have cereal or you have toast. That's it. There's cereal or there is toast. And that is their option 6 days a week. We do waffles on Wednesdays, but other than that, that is their choice. Occasionally, I will do something different on a day where I have time, where I might do like scrambled eggs and toast. But usually if they are having toast, they're having like toast with like peanut butter or nut butter. And if they're cereal, they're having a spoonful of peanut butter or nut butter and a fruit on the side. Like, it is the same meal 6 days a week. Same thing when we have snack time. My kids have 3 choices. They have a yogurt, they have nuts and raisins trail mix that they make, or we have a piece of fruit. That's it. That's their snacks. By not having all these different kinds of snacks and so many options, I have less things that I need to purchase for, because I'm not catering to all these different options. And I have less things going bad in my house, because if I buy a big bag of apples, I know that they're going to get done by the end of the week, because my kids only have so many options for food choices when it comes to eating. So it does help us get through our food. We throw out a lot less food. It just makes snack time so much easier because they already know what their choices are. We do have a few prepackaged snacks that I keep in the house. So I do have some granola bars, some like applesauce pouches. Those are solely for when we leave the house. So those are only for like, we are going to the playground with our friends, with our co-op. You can bring a snack, though that's what you're bringing. The things that don't transport so easily for us. Otherwise, my kids don't get to eat the applesauce pouches when we're at home, because it's not cost effective. That's how we do it. You have limited options, and some things are only for certain activities. It works, and it really does save a lot of money. I had a friend who I recommended this to, and she's like, our budget has like dropped by like $10 just because my kids aren't eating all the prepackaged snacks when we're at home. I was like, yeah. Especially if you're homeschooling and your kids are in your house all the time, and they can go through prepackaged snacks like this. If they are not for anything other than leaving the house, you don't have that problem. Get creative with leftovers. I know this is not necessarily a grocery tip, but being creative with your leftovers can really stretch a meal and can stretch what you're doing when you're meal planning. So for example, I often buy like a whole chicken and I'll roast that, and we'll have roast chicken dinner. And as a family, we eat about half a chicken by the time we have like a salad and potatoes and the chicken. And then I use the other half to do something like wraps, stir fry, chicken soup. And speaking of that, I'll also take the carcass, throw it in a pot with some water, a couple of carrots and an onion, and simmer that for like 24 hours and end up making chicken stock for free. You can get creative by stretching a meal that you already have, and it makes one purchase go a lot farther. Also, this is a weird tip, but it really, really helps. If you are cooking a meal, store the sauce separately for your leftovers. So for example, if we had like roast beef, I had a roast in the crock pot, which is often a meal we have when we have like gymnastics or something. and we make gravy or like a sauce for it, I will store that separately because now I have more options for the meat. So I can either put the gravy on it and have leftovers for lunch the next day, or I can cut it up and put it in a stir fry. I can make a sandwich out of it. I can do a lot more with it when it doesn't have the sauce on it. Just a tip, I find it really helps us use more of the food that we have. And we actually really enjoy having leftovers for lunch. That's another really great tip for stretching your meals. Have leftover days or leftover lunches, where you just kind of have like a mishmash plate of whatever you have left over in the fridge. Before you go, tip number 4, don't ever go hungry. Always eat. We usually get groceries on our way home from playgroup on Wednesdays, and I actually pack myself a lunch and I eat it while we're driving from playgroup to the grocery store, so that when I get in there, I'm not hungry, because it does significantly add to your grocery list because you are buying things based on how hungry you are. Don't do it. Make sure you eat before you get groceries. So those are the things that you have to do before you go to the store. You made your meal plan. You've shopped the sales and have used the sales to pick what you need for your meals. You're going to make a grocery list, and then you're going to price match your grocery list. That is tip number 5. You want to make sure that you are price matching as much as you can on that grocery list. I use Uppbeat, which is an app on my phone. It is fantastic because I can go through and just look through all of the flyers, and I can actually click and it'll save all of the sales I'm going to use. So when I go to the cash, I actually just like open the one app and just like flip through the different flyers for all the flyers in my area. And it actually is super easy. It's fantastic. Uppbeat, Reebee. I look at my grocery list of everything that I want to buy, everything that I need to buy, because sometimes there's things that you want. It's fair. You have to put things on there. And I try to price match as much as I can on that. And then I go shopping at a store that allows price matching. So in my area, the only one that I know of that allows price matching is Real Canadian Superstore. Walmart got rid of that when the pandemic started, because they were great for that too. But I routinely price match as much as I can when it comes to our food. Everything that I need, every ingredient, everything, I at least check. I will go through and check the price on tomatoes, cucumbers, carrots, cheese, as much as I can. So when you're price matching, it has to be the same size and the same brand. That's very important. Some stores, I will tell you, are much more stickler that it has to be from the same country if you're doing produce. I find that 98% of the time they don't really care as long as it's the same item. So green grapes from California will get the same. I can usually price match the same whether they're from California or from Chile, which is what's in the flyer. I find most times they don't care. Sometimes you'll get a stickler who does care. Usually that means it's like a really, really good sale. But then I just like say, never mind, and we just walk away. Sometimes I price match almost my entire grocery list. Sometimes it's only like 2 or 3 items, but regardless, it does end up saving me quite a bit of money. Routinely, I end up saving about $20 to $30 a week just through price matching, which is fantastic. And you can price match meats. It's a little trickier because it does have to be something very, very similar, pretty much almost the same. And when you're price matching your meat, you do have to take it to the meat counter to get your price match sticker, just so you know. So they end up getting basically reprinting a tag for an amount off, and that's how you price match meat. It is possible. It's a little bit trickier, but it is something you can do. And don't forget to look for rain checks. If the store is out of something, like I've been to Real Canadian Superstore and they've been out of their chicken that are on sale for $1.99, I always go to the customer service and get a rain check, because then I can pick that up another time. Definitely price matching. Price matching is huge. Price matching saves me a lot of money. Like I said, it does take a little bit of time because you do have to think about it before you get to the store. But this is where having a great grocery list really helps you, because you've meal planned, you've sat down with your grocery list. It takes me about 10 minutes to do a full price match of my entire list. It is definitely worth it when you're saving $20 to $30 just by price matching things like that. Points. A lot of grocery stores and places are now starting to offer points, especially here in Canada. I know Food Basics does, and certainly all of the Loblaw stores offer PC points. And since I shop mostly at Real Canadian Superstore, I definitely get points there too. So that is fantastic because I can use the points that I use eventually to buy groceries, and typically I end up getting about $300 to $400 in groceries free a year, that's like 2 weeks of groceries minimum. Like that's more than 2 weeks of groceries. It's like almost 3 weeks of groceries for us. I like to use my grocery points on things when we were kind of going a little above budget or typically what we would be spending on. So things like birthday parties, it's like if I'm buying like extra fruit because we're having company, 15 people over, it's a great time when I use those points. Or at Christmas when I'm buying like a turkey and potatoes because we're feeding 20 people, that is like when I typically spend my points, and it really does help. Like I've gotten entire Christmas dinners for 20 people for free. I will say though, if you are using the PC points, they are fantastic. But a quick tip is to make sure you download the app onto your phone as well. And every Thursday you kind of just like go on and like just open it, and it will upload all of your new bonuses. So the store will have like PC point bonuses where when you buy certain things there's a bonus, but your app will also have bonuses on it as well. And the nice thing about your app is it actually kind of looks at what you're purchasing on a regular basis, and it will start kind of catering your points to what you're buying on a regular basis. So at least once a month, I have our favorite lunch meat that pops up and I get points for it. Like bonus points above what the store is offering. Tomatoes is one I get a lot of during kind of this season. I don't get so much during summer because we grow our own tomatoes, but like I get a lot of like tomatoes and cucumber ones, cheese. We buy a lot of M&Ms. So we do end up getting like M&Ms on our points, like bonus points on those as well. And like I said, it tracks what you're buying and gives you extra points. So like this week I ended up getting, I think it was about 5,000 or 6,000 points, which ends up being about $5 back in points that I can spend eventually just by opening the app. And it was things that I was already going to buy. I was already buying cucumbers, I was already buying tomatoes, I needed cheese and lunch meat, and it worked out really, really well. So definitely make sure if you're using PC points to get the app as well, because it does add a lot to your point total. Step number 7 is it does take a little bit more work, but it does really, really help. Especially if you are a person who's very brand conscious. Or you have your favorite things. For example, I like Kraft peanut butter. Like that's what we eat in this house. I prefer it. I don't really like other peanut butters. That's just what I like. And there are certain things that I eat and that we eat only certain brands of. Like I like Heinz ketchup. I'm more of a Lay's potato chip person. Like, you know what I mean? Like there's certain things that it's got to be a certain brand, and that's okay. For this, I like to have a price list. So for the things that we buy regularly and routinely and are very brand specific, I do like to have a list of things and what is their typical price or what is a really good sale price. Not a huge list, but it is definitely a list of like what is a good price for things that we're buying all the time. So I know that Kraft peanut butter is typically about $4.99 a jar for a 1 kilo jar. So basically I know that anything less than $3.99 is a sale price, because sometimes they put things on sale and it's not really a sale when it comes to the grocery store. Also, I know that anything less than like $3.49 is a really good sale, and maybe to stock up on that. So if I see peanut butter come up for like $2.99, I'm definitely buying like 6 of them, and I'm gonna like put them aside, right? So having a price list for things that you buy regularly and that are very brand specific is a really, really great idea. Number 6, I know this is a little bit of a privilege thing. If you can, have a stockpile. I'm not talking about like a prepper stockpile. I'm not talking about like a whole room designated your house. We have one shelf in our basement that is designated for kind of like an overstock of things we buy all the time. And like I said, when I was talking about having a price list, it's very brand specific. So it has things like very specific, like our peanut butter. So if it's on sale for $2 off or $3 off, I'm buying 6 of them. It's there for when we need it. Pizza sauce is one thing that we keep down there. Chips, salad dressing is another one that's quite expensive. And if you're very specific to certain flavors or whatever, that's another thing that we keep on our shelf. Having a stockpile is nice. We do the same thing with our freezer. We have like vegetables. We do keep extra meat if it goes on sale. Like I just picked up 6 chickens and put them in my freezer, and those 6 chickens I'll probably use over the next like 3 to 4 months. We'll have chicken dinners. I know it is a privilege and it is something that not everyone can do, but if you are able to, keeping a small stockpile of the things that you are buying all the time when they go on sale is a great way to save money in the long run. Coupons. Coupons, we are not American and we don't have the American coupons like they do down in the States. The ones where you can like get your whole order for free kind of thing. Like, we don't have programs like that here in Canada. It doesn't exist. But coupons can be a great help if you're using them properly. Coupons are very easy to make you buy things you don't need because, oh, they're $1 off. So whenever you go into a grocery store, there's often like a panel and it has all kinds of coupons in there. Definitely check it out. Pick up coupons for things that you buy routinely. Again, this goes back to like having limited options or having your price list. Pick up those coupons for the things you're going to buy on a regular basis. And you can do this at any store. So a lot of those coupons actually come from the companies and they can apply to any grocery store. So if I'm running into Walmart and I see coupons for yogurt tubes, I can definitely take the coupon and I'll take like 6 of them. And when I go to get groceries, I will go over and spend them at the Real Canadian Superstore because they're from the company. They're about buying the product and not about where you purchase them from. And I will then combine them. Like, I will price match and use a coupon, and if I can get points, I'll do that as well. But like I said, coupons are very easy because it does trick you into buying things that you don't need just because you're getting a percentage off. So only pick up coupons if it's for something that you need for your own house and it's something that you're actually gonna eat. I know a lot of people like to buy in bulk and they like to shop at Costco. That is a great option if you know your prices. This is where a price list comes in handy because I know so many people who are trying to tell me that Costco has the best price on chicken. And when I actually break it down to price per 100 grams, which is on the tags, by the way, you can actually look at your price tag and it'll tell you underneath the barcode what the price is per 100 grams on any product, and it's the price that it's set at right now. So if it's on sale, it'll tell you that it's cheaper to buy the little packs of yogurt right now than it is to buy the big container. Like, you can go price per 100 grams and it'll tell you what is the better bang for your buck. If you do not know this and you go into Costco, you are going to overspend. Like, when I hear people say like, oh, we spent like $500 in Costco. I'm like, yeah, you were at Costco last week and you spent $500 then. You haven't saved any money. You have bought large amounts of things, and I know this because I run day camps where we would go to Costco and pick things up. And if you didn't watch your price per 100 grams, I'd say like 8 to 9 times out of 10, you were overpaying or paying the same price that you were getting, I could get at a grocery store. And at least at a grocery store, I could get points or I could price match it for a cheaper price. So do be careful of Costco. I know, and different like bulk places, because A, you're paying for a membership to shop there. So that's money out of your pocket. And you're not always getting the best price. Sometimes you are, and sometimes there are great products that you can only get at Costco. I know people love the dog food and the diapers. Like, I understand, like, there are things that you can get a great price on, but just be careful with what you're picking up at Costco because it is very easy to think you're getting a good deal and you're really, really not. In fact, most people who ask about Costco, I recommend if you're struggling, don't go to Costco. Especially since then you have to plan for all of the food you're bringing home too. Like, it's very easy for us to like go through a couple packs of chicken, but now you're buying a whole, a bunch of chicken. And now you also need to buy the plastic bags to separate that chicken out and have the space to freeze it so that you're not wasting. And that is a huge thing that comes up when you're buying in bulk, is that if you're not prepared and you don't have the space, you're actually just wasting food, which is wasting money. So be very careful if you're going to Costco. And my last tip, which is something I've only recently started doing, if you want to cut on your grocery budget, sometimes it's a really good idea to order it online. So recently I've started ordering online probably about once a month, just because of things going on. We've had a really busy kind of winter season and it's kind of gotten me into ordering things online because it's really been helpful. I just have to drive and pick it up. Like, I don't even have to get in my car. So if we're running errands, it's literally a 10-minute stop while they bring my groceries out for me. And yes, it does cost $3 at a superstore. And no, you cannot price match or use coupons when you order groceries. But I have found that when I order groceries online, my grocery bill is significantly less because I do not have any impulse purchases, and I do not have my kids asking for anything, and I'm only buying exactly what I need. It's not like my kids ask for a lot, but like, you know, buying a cantaloupe or picking up a pack of yogurt or like things that I wasn't exactly planning on buying, it all adds up, right? So I have found that when I order online, I'm only buying like the bare minimum of what I need for that week. A, it helps me eat out of what I have in my pantry and my freezer. And B, because it's literally the bare minimum, I usually end up with a really small bill. Like I often have like a bill of like under $150, and somehow that manages to last for the week. I don't know. So yeah, definitely if you are looking to like free up some time or you have something coming up or you just want to try it, sometimes ordering groceries online is a great way to save a little bit of cash without doing any work, because there's no impulse purchases. You're getting just what you need, and it helps you kind of use what you already have in your house up for the week. Altogether, it does add up. It does seem like it's a lot of things to do, but it's not things you're doing all the time. Like the price list, I have that on my phone. I update it maybe once a year or once every 6 months. It takes me a couple minutes to kind of look at it, and that's it. Some of these things take about 10 minutes of my time, maybe 20 minutes total, but it really adds up in the savings. Despite prices going up, our grocery bill still sits between like around $150, $150, $180 a week. And that is with a kid who has food allergies. And we are a very produce heavy family. So we do eat a lot of produce. We do eat a lot of like meats, fresh meats, all the stuff that is usually very expensive and does drive up the cost of your food. That's pretty much what we eat, because that's what's best for Alexie. And we're still keeping a pretty low grocery budget. And one thing I do want to remind people is that every week is different. So sometimes you're going to have a really small bill, and some weeks you're going to have a really big bill. The goal is not to have the same amount every single week. It is to have kind of like a consistent amount over a month. So about every like 6 to 9 weeks, I have a bill that's like $300, if not a little bit more. And for some reason, because it always happens, everything I need, all of my staples, I've run out of. I've run out of rice, I've run out of flour and sugar, honey, apple cider vinegar, like toilet paper, like all this stuff, all this, like everything. I've run out of everything, and I have to do a huge grocery order, and it's always everything at the same time. I don't know why. And if you were to use that bill, you would be like, wow, you spend a lot on groceries. But am I really? Because every other grocery bill for the next like 2 or 3 weeks is probably going to be around $100, because I have all of these staples already in my house. Don't think of every single week as like I need to get to a certain amount, or I need to like stay under a certain amount. There's got to be some flexibility in that, and you need to be able to kind of like roll things over as well, because you are going to have a week where things just, you need everything. And it sucks, and those are the weeks where you're just like, oh. But that is something to remember when you're talking about your grocery budget, is that it is something that is like a living thing, and there's only so much you can do when you run out of toilet paper and flour and rice and everything else in the same week, because it does happen, and I swear it always happens in the same week. I swear it always happens in the same week. I hope this was helpful. I hope you guys were able to find some ways to catch up on some cost savings when it comes to going to the grocery store, because I think everyone needs to save money. And as a homeschool family, and I think every family, when you free up money, you get to allocate it to other things. And for us, the money that we free up by not paying full price for groceries, that's money that we can allocate to like a membership to the aquarium or more art supplies for our kids. And that's a really cool thing, that saving money in the grocery store can help us actually homeschool in the end. While this was not a homeschool video, I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it helps you guys out. Let me know if you guys have any other grocery saving tips down below, and let me know if you guys like these kinds of lifestyle videos and if I should do more of them down below in the comments as well. Make sure you follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok, and maybe I'll share some of my best deals of the week. Maybe I'll start doing that. And thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next week.